Челябinsk region is situated on the slopes of the South Ural and the bordering territories of the Zauralia and covers the area of almost 80,000 kilometers. Its territory separates Europe from Asia. Our neighbors are Bashkortostan, Kurgan, Orenburg and Sverdlovsk regions. In the south lies the state boundary of Russia and Kazakhstan. The climate of the South Ural is continental. We have cold, long-lasting winters and rather short, hot summers. Today the population of Челябинsk region is over 3.5 million people, of which 3 million are urban people. The most numerous nationalities are Russians, Tatars, Bashkirs, Ukrainians, Kazakhs, Germans, Maldives and Armenians. There are 27 districts, 30 towns, 10 urban districts, 13 urban villages and 1,240 village settlements. The South Ural territory has always attracted people by its favorable conditions of life. Such facts as the Lithic Age people sites, the Bronze and the Iron Age settlements prove that. The country of cities is the remains of one of the most ancient civilizations on the planet. Archaeum, one of the settlements, which is as ancient as the Egyptian pyramids, is a culture preserved now. The region's territory administrative forming began in the 18th century and was the continuation of the policy of Peter I aimed at the development of the productive forces of Russia and the country's border widening. In the second half of the 18th century, active forming of the South Ural mining areas began. Such towns as Nyazepetrovsk, Kasli, Zlatoust, Kishtim, Satka, Yurizan, Uskatav, Mias were founded at that time. At the beginning of the 19th century, the main part of the present Челябинsk region territory referred to the Orenburg province. In the middle of the 19th century, the connection with the new line of fortresses construction Orenburg's Cossacks actively developed in the steppe lands of the South Ural. The settlements were given names after the places of battles and victories of the Russian troops: Varna, Verchampenoise, Borodino, Paris. In 1919, the Челябинsk province, composed of Chelyabinski, Troitsky and Verkhnouralsky uyezd, was formed. On January the 17th, 1934, Челябинsk region was founded. Челябinsk region has a great industrial potential. Its foundations are ferrous and non-ferrous metallurgy, engineering and metal processing. Nowadays, 3,000 large and medium-scale enterprises function in the territory of the South Ural. The South Ural has always been famous for its metallurgical plants. This sector makes more than half of all region's industrial production. Magnitogorsky Metallurgical Works is one of the largest enterprises in Russia. It gives about 50% of in-payments to the budget of Magnitogorsk. Great amount of products provides Russia, the Commonwealth countries and a number of foreign countries with high-quality metal raw, steel and iron. Челябинsk Metallurgical Works is one of the few enterprises in the country enabled to give its products the index Челябинsk Steel. The company produces more than 130 registered steel grades. Челябинsk Tube Rolling Mill is the only supplier of big diameter pipes, the quality of which meets the strict international requirements. Челябинsk Tube Rolling Mill's production is exported to more than 20 countries of the world, including Germany, Italy, the USA, Turkey, Egypt, Syria, China, Iran and others. Satka's company Magnesit is the world leader of the refractory production. Its market share is 70 in Russia and 65 in the Commonwealth countries. The main competitive advantage of this enterprise consists in having its own raw material sources in Челябинsk region and Krasnoyarsk territory. The South Ural steels and alloys have deserved their popularity and have got prestigious awards. The South Ural engineering complex includes several enterprises, and the biggest are Ural and Челябинsk tractor plant. The Ural automobile plant's market share of heavy trucks comes to 20% in the common segment. Mias trucks are notable for their great off-road ability, carrying capacity, reliability and easy maintenance. Ural trucks can effectively work in the temperature from 50 degrees negative to 50 degrees positive Celsius. Now these trucks are used all over the world. Besides, they've been to such hotspots as Afghanistan, Serbia, Chechnya. These trucks have also shown their worth both in far north and in Afghanistan's deserts. Chelyabinsk tractor plant is the biggest engineering company in the Commonwealth countries, developing and producing industrial tractors and engines for them. Now the plant produces machines for oil and gas producing, metal mining, building industries and other branches. The consumers of Chelyabinsk tractor plant's production include more than 15,000 enterprises all over the world. 17,000 people are engaged in the shop floor production. There are 30 enterprises of the military-industrial complex in Челябинsk region. They produce metal cutting equipment, naval and passenger ships devices, air traffic and aircraft, and helicopter landing control systems. Now we can see the rebirth of Челябинsk region defense industry after the economic crisis at the end of the last century. Measurement Technology Research Institute produces the best world radar equipment, which is used widely in the civil aviation and air force. Now the production of this South Ural enterprise is delivered to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Mongolia. The State Rocket Center, named after academician Makeyev, is one of the biggest enterprises producing rocket space engineering in Russia. Design Engineering Bureau takes part in carrier rockets designing and native and foreign space aircrafts launching according to the Roscosmos program. The Bureau undertook a task to develop strategic rocket complexes for atomic submarine. The public corporation Radium is one of the best producers of radio equipment, metal detectors, military and commercial intrusion protection systems in Russia. Today, the production of this enterprise is in great demand at the Defense Ministry of Russia. The South Ural radio electronics is highly appreciated for its sensibility, quality and low maintenance under any conditions. Success of Chelyabinsk region is the result of South Ural people's success. In order to provide the most comfortable living and working conditions in the region, all possible actions are being taken. The national project, Affordable and Comfortable Dwelling, is the main of the 4 priority directions of work. According to the public opinion surveys data, by the moment of the project start, 61% of the South Ural population had housing problems. To solve them, the present fund must be nearly 2 times as much. Now, about 1 million square meters of dwelling a year is built in Chelyabinsk only. By 2010, this indicator is planned to reach 1.5 million. In Chelyabinsk region, several programs, according to which socially unprotected people, pensioners, large families get flats paying only a third of the price or absolutely free. The mortgage lending system is developed well in the South Ural. It has already helped to thousands of people to improve their living conditions. Only the mortgage facility made it possible for me to own new and proper housing. Chelyabinsk region has especially succeeded in the realization of the national project Health. Now more than 7,000 doctors and nurses get extra money. Yearly over 500 specialists have professional retraining. Each newborn is tested for hereditary diseases. Young specialists come to work to the rural districts. Finally, the main victory of the South Ural population was the President's approval to building a federal cardiovascular surgery center in Chelyabinsk region. Up to 10,000 operations are planned to be done here yearly, and patients both from Chelyabinsk region and others will be cured. Construction of this center will allow to improve demographics considerably. Today, cardiovascular diseases death rate comes to 60% in Russia. By the moment, Челябинsk hosts a very fundamental scientific and research base. There are well-educated experts who are ready to perform operations any level of difficulty. The national project Education. According to this project, nearly 20,000 teachers get extra pays for class supervision from the federal budget. The region helps young specialists and also has introduced special grants of 500 and 250,000 for schools and supplementary educational establishments. At the moment, 100% of the South Ural schools have internet, 50 inter-school methodological centers, the only centers of this kind in the territory of the Ural Federal District, work in Chelyabinsk region. Only 7 regions of Russia have centers of this kind. The South Ural State University has got a grant of 556 million rubles for innovational educational programs adoption.
Выигрыш гранта – это уникальная возможность
We are lucky to win the federal grant that will invest a lot into the university development in general, both scientific research and young specialist training. That will create a perfect base for working up-to-date science. Great effort is taken and sums of money are spent on the agricultural complex development. The cultivation areas are increased by nearly 60,000 hectares yearly. The cattle head increases by approximately 5 to 7%. Several easy-to-use lending programs are developed for farmers. It has already allowed to make more than 2,000 loan contracts and to attract thousands of specialists to work in the rural districts. We have received the credit of 2 million rubles and purchased new equipment. This resulted into 40% increase of working places. Chelyabinsk region is one of the most attractive regions for investing in Russia. According to the rating published in the journal Expert, the region is one of the top 10 by its industrial, innovational, tourist, consumer and labor potential. The analytics admit the high credit capacity of Chelyabinsk region in comparison with other regions. The South Ural has a very high economic growth rate, a low accumulated debt volume and a good credit history. These data allow to attract both Russian and foreign investments. The biggest investing countries are Cyprus, Switzerland, Great Britain and Kazakhstan. The main object of investments is metallurgical industry. But businessmen don't limit themselves by metallurgy only. There are also two great investment projects of the recent time. Satellite towns building near Chelyabinsk. They suppose development of 2,000 hectares of land are meant for comfortable living of 300,000 people. Besides dwelling houses, there will be kindergartens, schools, hospitals, cultural and entertainment centers and sports objects in the towns. The projected investment volume is nearly 500 billion rubles. Great attention is paid to the ecological problems. Investments to this sector have recently become 3 times as much. The South Ural town, Karabash, has got rid of the name the dirtiest town in the world. The enterprise forming of the company town, Karabash Med, has put into operation 7 ecological objects recently. There is a Swedish gas scrubbing complex, sulfur-containing gas conversion set and others among them. The Russian government has highly appreciated the work of the enterprise in the sphere of environmental safety and conferred it to the rank of Nature Conservation Leader of Russia. Chelyabinsk region especially stakes on tourism. There is a great number of unique places in the South Ural which are very popular with the tourists. Ilmensky State Mineralogical National Park is situated on the eastern slopes of the South Ural on the Ilmen mountain ridge near the town of Mias. A lot of minerals were found in the national park and they were given local names: Ilmenit, Miaskit, Ushkovit, Samarskit. Over 10 kinds of fossils can be found only here. There are 800 species of plants in the park. There are also some relics having survived from the Ice Age. The fauna is also quite rich: 50 species of mammals, 200 birds and 14 fish. There is also one of the youngest national parks in Russia, Taganai in Chelyabinsk region. The park is situated near Taganayski mountainside, a little northward of the old Ural town's Latoust. These places are often compared with the famous Alps landscape for their beauty and called Russian Switzerland. The national park Taganai is a small mountain country with its peaks and inter-mountain valleys, rapid mountain rivers and swampy moors, tundras and small taiga. The younger brother of Lake Baikal, as people call Lake Turgoyak, is also situated in the South Ural. A lot of streamlets and small rivers flow into it and only one flows out. It's one of the deepest and largest basins of the area with a depth up to 34 meters. The water in the lake is so clean and transparent that the bottom can be seen at the depth of about 20 meters. Turgoyak is registered in the list of the most valuable lakes of the world, the most beautiful landscapes of the country and the nature reserve of Chelyabinsk region. Thanks to fruitful cooperation of business and government, we've managed not only revitalize several resorts, but also build up new ones. It has set the starting point of tourism sphere development in the South Ural. In the southern part of Satka district of Chelyabinsk region, there is a national park, Zuratkul. It got its name after a high mountain lake and is 724 meters above sea level. Lake Zuratkul is a pearl of the area, a unique nature object. More than 10 sites of the Lithic Age people have been discovered here by the archaeologists. The territory of the park covers the highest part of the South Ural, with the highest point of the region, the peak of the mountain Nurgush, 1,406 meters above sea level. Челябинsk region takes pride in the sporting results of our sportsmen. Svetlana Ishmuratova was awarded with 2 golden medals for biathlon at the Olympiad in Turin. Judo wrestler Vitaly Makarov won the silver at the Olympiad of 2004 in Athens. The South Ural is also very proud of the 6-time Olympic champion, a skater Lydia Pavlovna Skoblikova. The Ice Palace Ural Molnia was named after her. In Russia, there are only 3 buildings of this kind. It has a modern ice arena where curling teams, skaters and hockey players train. We can't but mention that Челябинsk region is the only Russian region which has 2 hockey teams playing in the Super League. They are Челябинsk Tractor and Magnitogorsk Metallurg. Palaces, stadiums and sport grounds are built in the South Ural to popularize mass sports. In the nearest future, a second ice palace will appear. A modern track and field athletic stadium has been opened in Челябинsk, as well as judo and boxing Olympic training centers. Челябinsk region natural landscape makes mountain skiing very popular too. At our resorts, Abzakova, Zavyaliha, Banная, Russian and international competitions are held. They are the favorite places for rest of the South Ural people and the guests of Челябinsk region. Even Russian President Vladimir Putin skied on the South Ural slopes. The cultural life of Челябinsk region is full of interesting events. Every year, several magnificent international festivals take place in the region. The Grand Organ Jazz, the only one and unique festival in the world, is among them. Its main peculiarity lies in the combination of the great keyboard wind musical instrument and jazz music. The only person in the world awarded with the title The Goddess of Art, Irina Arkhipova, the academician and professor, has been the center of attention of the festival, named after her, for more than 10 years. Irina Arkhipova introduced famous solo singers and actors of different Russian and foreign theaters in Samara, Ufa, Kiev, Baku and many other cities. In 2002, Челябинsk was chosen the constant festival center place. Челябinsk Hall and its acoustics have won her heart, as Irina Arkhipova says. The International Theatre Festival, Camerata, has worked in Челябinsk for several years already. In its playbills, we can always see the best performances of Russian and foreign theatres. In July 2006, the Regional Museum of Local History was opened in the capital of the South Ural. It's the largest cultural project in the modern history of Челябinsk region. In the post-perestroika period, none of other regions of Russian Federation has ever built local history museums. The first thing that the visitors of the museum see is the building made of glass. The main idea of the architect consists in constructing an open-air museum. The place wasn't chosen by chance. It's the very place where in the 18th century a fortress was founded, afterwards named Chelyaba. The new building also has fortress-like counters. It combines European and Eastern architectural heritage, the past and the present. Челябинsk region has always been an example for other regions of Russia. We are proud of the success we've made and will never stop at the achieved. Poetess Tatyana Cheva, speaking about South Ural, called it the basic plot of power, and the achievements of our region just prove these words.